Hi everyone, we have Dr. Sanjay Agarwal right here with us at ICC Milpitas for a beautiful wellness event. He is the one in the San Jose area who is treating a lot of patients for the sleep medicine, taking critical care, and also examining patients and making his prescriptions for the pulmonary medicine. Welcome, Dr. Sanjay, to Yo India TV with me, Jasleen Khanuja. And how do you think this event is?
Thank you, Jasleen, for getting me on. This event is amazing. I think it is one of the best events I've seen in the last 10 years of being in the area. This wellness movement it covers various aspects of including exercise, nutrition, sleep, emotional well-being, and I think it's a phenomenal job ICC with APIO has done. I'm also the president of APIO, American Association of Physicians of Indian Origin, and we are fortunate to be a part of this movement, which is in the second year now. And we wanted to bring into the public as to the wellness aspect of health. It's not just about medicine, it's about how you live healthy and wealthy. Yes.
Absolutely. So, sleep is a very critical phenomena in everyone's life. You know, most of us in the Bay Area are sleep deprived because we are multitasking, we are wearing multiple hats, and we believe right from the studenthood, you know, particularly from class 11th and 12th, when there was a lot of pressure to perform, you know, we've been hearing that 4 hours of sleep is enough. And all the toppers, they have actually been claiming that they manage within the 4 hours of their sleep cycle. So what's your take on this?
Oh my God! Yeah, this is my pet peeve. I don't think sleeping less than 7-8 hours is a good idea. There has been many studies have been published over the course of time, and we have all sleep practitioners throughout the nation and the old societies. We have been recommending that everybody should be sleeping at least about 7-8 hours each night. In fact, when you are a student, in 11 to 13 years age group, recommendation is to sleep about 9 to 11 hours. And when you're an adolescent, the recommendation is to sleep about 9 to 10 hours. So these children tend to sleep later. They have delayed sleep phase syndrome, which we call that, psychologically. And they tend to go to school at 7 o'clock in the morning. So they go to bed at 2, they wake up at 7, and I think that 5 hours sleep is good enough, which is not good. And that's the reason why these kids, they get into this mode of many psychiatric issues. They have increased suicide rates, and concentration is failing, and education, even the learning ability goes down as well. The cognitive impairment is there as well, and they are anxious, and many issues are developing. So we have been asking the schools to start later, like 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, and Florida is one of the states who has actually already implemented these in some schools. So we would like the kids to sleep at least 7-8 hours each night, and we have asking them to decrease the homework so they don't have to wake so. And we also asking them to decrease the screen time, so not to spend so much time on the cell phones, because the blue light affects your mental function as well. So you'll see all these studies coming up in various literature, and I think sleep is becoming more. I'm happy that more and more people are becoming aware that sleep is important for you. Very good question. Thank you.
So, I also wanted to ask you if it matters what gender you belong to. I've been hearing that women need more sleep than men.
Oh my Lord! Actually, it's adult. Both men and women need equal amount of sleep. The women tend to have more sleep problems towards more of insomnia and emotion related, and men tend to have more sleep problems compared to like sleep apnea and other things. So the patterns are a little bit, the disease process is a little bit different. But I think as time goes by, after menopause, women catch up with sleep apnea with men, and men also have more of insomnia issues as well as world is going up. So I don't think it is the quantity of sleep is less for one gender or the other, but I think it's equally important, and all adults should sleep more than 7 hours for sure.
Awesome. So that was about the quantity of sleep. Now let's move over to the quality aspect. A power nap is sometimes considered very important, especially, between 10 p.m. to 12. That is considered like the prime time. We must go to bed at 10 every day and make sure that we are having deep sleep, with absolutely no disturbances around, at least till 12 a.m. in the night. So give us some insights into this notion. Is that correct?
Somewhat. So let me qualify that a little bit more. So what I mean by the quality of sleep, and if you go back 10,000 years, when we didn't have electricity, we didn't have TV, we didn't have computers, we didn't have books to read, and so complex lifestyle, I think we were with the sun. Sun goes down, we were supposed to go down. Animals, like still in jungles, we do that, and we're supposed to get up when the sun comes up. Sun goes down, we go down. Sun comes up, we come up. So that 8 hours of sleep with was good. And British used to say that we health early to bed and early to rise makes you healthy, wealthy, and wise. And we also in India also we used to practice the Brahma Muhurta and get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. And education was a peak time that time. Brahmins used to say that to us that time. So with that all in the background, and now science has proven that it actually is true. So we need our 8 hours of sleep in a consistent fashion. Consistent means 10 o'clock a bed means 10 o'clock bedtime, and 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock a bed wake up time. So sleep actually, just to answer your question which you raised, which is beautiful. So sleep is it's formed of non-REM sleep and REM sleep, and REM sleep is rapid eye movement, which is about 15 to 25% of sleep time, and then the other part, REM sleep, non-REM sleep has got a deep sleep component to that, and that deep sleep is also about 25%, and that's where the body totally rests, and that's a good thing. So it's not a power nap, I would say, but to answer your question, the first half of the night you have more of deep sleep, and the second half of the night you have more of the REM sleep. So the deep sleep is good, and that makes you more rested. The muscles are more relaxed, and the REM sleep is good for the brain because you actually learn the cognitive abilities and you learn the memory and concentration, and all that comes up in the second half of the night. And you can't just break the night into 2 hours and 3 hours and 4 hours, but all 8 hours have to come together. And that's the second component of consolidated of sleep. So sleep quality is good if you have consistent and consolidated sleep of 8 hours a night.
So, some people prefer to sleep when some kind of soothing music is on. Some people also think that if the light is on, they feel more comfortable, or they think it will ease them in getting up at the time they intend to. So, are these good habits?
Some of them are. So it's actually about what pleases you, what you associate with. Like I need my particular blanket and I want to hold the corner of the fluffy part which is making me sleep. So that's called association disorder. But having a lights on, generally having a TV running in the background with flickering lights or loud sound sometimes and whisper sometimes, that actually is not a good idea because it does cause fragmentation of sleep at micro levels which you don't realize. So that affects the quality of sleep for sure, guaranteed. Having coffee, like for example, within 4 hours of going bedtime, I hear a lot of people, oh, I cannot sleep without having I have to have a coffee to go to bed, which is actually not true. So the caffeine has been shown to cause fragmentation of sleep. So light is not a good idea, caffeine is not a good idea. Having music, light music in the background for half an hour, it does help you induce sleep, and there are quite a lot of them are out there. So find your benefits, but I think get away from that thing. Watching TV on the bed makes me go to sleep, or listening to music makes me go to sleep. I think those are not good ideas.
Awesome, awesome. So, coming to the pulmonary part, since you also specialize on the pulmonary side, the water we drink here, the travel we make, most of us travel every year to India, we get affected by a lot of hygienic things which may lead to any kind of pulmonary disorder. So, what precautions should we take while we travel and while we are here?
So the water-wise, I don't think there is much water-wise for the lungs. So lungs-wise, there's a huge air quality which we breathe when you go to India. Like a month ago, I was in India. I got down out of the flight and I went to Delhi, and I was like, I could not breathe. I could not breathe because my eyes were watering and I had cough instantly. So the quality of air is a more important thing. So if you can avoid the breathing polluted air, maybe you can carry a mask with you, slowly get used to it. So that would be one thing I would suggest about pulmonary aspect of it. And that's the reason I see a lot of these patients who come from India who have got pulmonary fibrosis. Their lungs are scarred because they've been exposed to dust, chemicals, fumes, etc. in India. And that's why they have a lot of asthma, COPD, pulmonary fibrosis. And taking care of lungs is important. I think you need to be able to inhale medications as needed, and you should be on oxygen as needed. So lung care is somewhat suboptimal in Indian population, as I would say.
That's great. So I think by now you would have already learned that it's not good to be sleep deprived, and it's always good to be in a region which has good air quality. Try not to be in northern part of India, I believe, which really
More
has
pollution.
yeah, a lot of pollution and deteriorated air quality. Here also we have forest fires. Napa fire was one of the recent phenomena. Sometimes it's really unavoidable, but is there something that we should be doing? Wearing a mask, does that help?
So during the forest fire which happened here, the air quality went down dramatically, and out of almost about 4,000 patients I have, about 20% of them had breathing problems that time. So I asked them to carry masks with them. Yeah, if you feel that you're having difficulty breathing, if you feel that the air quality has gone down, I think there are masks available in the market which is going to definitely improve your breathing cycles for sure. So I think yes, be aware of that. Carry masks with you. Avoid the polluted air, and keep air purifiers in your home. That will help.
Awesome. So one final question regarding sleep. Many people go on the sleep pills to induce sleep, and sometimes they make it a practice. They take it every day, and probably then they get used to it, and they can't sleep without the pill. And pills have their own side effects as well. So what do you say about that?
So, sleeping pills is a big no-no. It's out of blanket statement. In a sense, like sleep is a natural process. We actually torture people. Well, prisoners of wars, we allowed them not to sleep. In Baghdad war, in Iraq war, we had a lot of prisoners who we will not let them sleep. We'll do waterboarding, and they were like zombies. So that means we do need 8 hours of sleep on a daily basis. So if you don't sleep all day long, and if you sleep only between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. and not sleep any day all day long at all, you will get your sleep at 10 p.m. for sure. Unless you have some sleep problems of quantity or quality, in that case, then sleep will not come. Or if you have some acute event, my mother passed away, or I lost my job, or I'm losing a home, some stressors of life, they may actually cause you to have some problems. And those small instances are where I would suggest that maybe sleep aid is required. But I see a lot of these patients in my practice, and we have a separate sleep disorder for them. It's called hypnotic dependent sleep disorder. It's a disease by itself. So hypnotic dependence, so after about 15, 20 days, 1 month, 2 months, depending on the medications you're taking, the sleep becomes, you become dependent on that medication. And without that, you can't go to sleep. Even though it's not doing any good to you, but you can't sleep without it. And it's kind of hard to pull them out of it. Now, if you have other sleep disorders, like if you have sleep apnea, then actually taking sleep aid is not a good idea. Because sleep apnea means you have to wake up for a few seconds to open the airway up. But if you take your sleep aids, you don't wake up. And that just means you're closing your airway for a longer time. And that's dangerous. You can actually die. So sleep aids are not a good idea. Talk to your doctor. I think people are becoming more and more aware. Doctors don't prescribe sleep aids that often anymore. So good olden days, about 10 years ago, I used to see a lot of patients who will be coming in and they say, well, I'm in a sleep medicine to help me sleep. And in the morning, they'll take another medicine to wake up. So it's terrible. It's terrible times. Fortunately, I don't see them that much anymore.
Awesome, awesome. So what are the latest and the greatest trends in the industry that you would like to share with our viewers?
I think sleep has come a long way. I think people are becoming more and more aware. We have events like this where people are talking about sleep, and I'm surprised by the amount of awareness I'm seeing from the public, which is great. We have almost, some time ago, it was just about 1% of people with sleep apnea we were diagnosing. Now we have about 20% people we have diagnosis with sleep apnea. We are talking about quality of sleep, we're talking about quantity of sleep. People are quitting their jobs and or making lifestyle changes to allow them to sleep. I think the industry has done a phenomenal job in making people aware not to go on sleep pills, take other corrective measures for our sleep problems, which is good.
So what's your message to the viewers?
Sleep well, sleep healthy. Go to bed at 10 o'clock, wake up at 6 o'clock every day. Make sure you don't sleep in the daytime. Practice some good sleep hygiene parameters. And there we are. Everything is going to be good. Okay. Exercise and nutrition is good.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you so
your
much for
time.
having me. Thank you so much for having me. Hello there. My name is Sanjay Kumar Agarwal. I'm practicing pulmonologist, critical care specialist, and I'm also a sleep specialist. I have a practice in Bay Area, and I've been practicing pulmonary and sleep medicine for almost 20 years now. Watch me on Yo India TV. Thank you.